My name is Thomas Nyborg. I am originally from Denmark, and I live between Thailand and Denmark, but I work mostly in Italy. I actually took a almost 10-year break from corporate management. The first board role was kind of like thrown at me, and I realized I needed some ropes. And I've always liked Adizes methodology. I did my first program maybe 10, 12 years ago, lost a little bit of touch, came back in, and I knew that I needed to up my game in terms of how to list. And that's basically what made me decide to go for this program here. And I actually, when I thought about before joining this one here, what was going to be my takeaway, I actually want more. I don't know if that somehow sums it up, that it's been a great experience all the way through, but I'm not done learning and I'm not done practicing this. And I think what I will be doing mostly on my final session here is try to figure out how can I do more of this. It's been great along the way. The most challenging part for me was the module. I found the intellectually most challenging was the structure module, which I know one of you also has asked about. Also because the teaching style was quite different from what we had experienced right before. We had a very light touch module before that, where we were really working on our own organizations. So self-driven, we were subject matter experts on our own organizations. And the structure module is really quite intellectual and philosophical, but I really, really enjoyed it. But I was a little bit taken by surprise by how much it required of me to do this. I would gladly do that module again, and I think it should have been at least 50% longer, because it was really, really interesting and super applicable for what I do as a board member. I think the beauty and what's always attracted me to Adizes methodology is that it somehow is very far from consultant speak. I'm from the other side of the table. I hired consultants and I worked with top-notch consultants, and this is actually very much the opposite. It's kind of like, you share the tools with the clients with the aim of actually having them to be self-sufficient along the way. So there is actually a catch here. Ultimately, you're going to make yourself obsolete or redundant, if you really roll it out, except for the fact that organizations change and new people come in and will need to be guided along the way. So I think it's very relevant to also as a consultant here. I guess it depends a little bit on how fluid and dynamic your situation is. It's not going to be one-to-one that you learn something this week and you apply it next week. I think my best example was David O'Farrell, who in his module was around delegation rules and, like Katie said, rules, policies, rules, and guidelines. And then he introduced a concept called Kinevin, which is about how to look at situations, whether they're simple or complex or complicated. And I was scratching the back of my head thinking, why did he go down this rabbit hole? What are we going to do this for? And the following week, one of my companies was looking at a joint venture. And I actually, together with the CEO of this company, plotted in, and we found out that, exactly how on this matrix this whole thing, this whole idea figured in. And there was a takeaway, if this is what you find, then this is what you should look at, which is what I like about Adizes different phases, that it's very, very pragmatic. So, I had not expected ever to be able to use some Welsh-labeled complexity matrix in real life, but, it took less than 10 days and it actually became really, really